keep in mind, again, if you have any questions for OG in regards to live, he's not going to answer everything simply because he can't. So, we'll definitely leave it up to him what he does and what he doesn't want to answer. It's not a one thing, guys. It's legal and things of that nature. And furthermore, competition is packed, so he's not going to leak any information that doesn't need to be out there. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in the first caller, 334. You're on the Sim Perspective. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Cedric. I'm calling from Montgomery, Alabama.
All right, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Cedric.
How are you doing?
We're good,
How
man.
about yourself?
Just wishing Scott OG the best with NBA Live moving forward. You got my support. Keep on pushing forward. Sim Nation, winners win.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Good looking out, Cedric.
No doubt.
All right, well, definitely, appreciate stuff like that. I mean, guys, and this is funny, man, because, I had a chance to kind of get to know OG before the whole game-changer thing, and he's a gamer first. He's a gamer first regardless of what you think about, the way live is now or where it's going or what have you. I know his passion as far as the game because not only is he a gamer, he played professional basketball, so he knows what he's talking about. And it's good to hear stuff like that as well. I mean, come on, who are we kidding? I mean, we talk about Madden on this show all the time, and we know none of us are really happy with Madden, but, you do wish it well because we love the game. I mean, it's football, and it's the only game out there. So, and I think I can speak for the rest of the guys on the show, with basketball, regardless of how and we'll get into that, in a little while, but regardless of how we all feel about the game, to me, the most important thing was competition coming back. Me and OG talked about that a long time ago. Before there was any mention of the game dropping, I was like, man, just come back. Just come back. And I think, I actually think Live has a chance to do something. And, we'll see what happens. Zua, you got anything on that?
Yeah, man. You know me, man. Competition, to me, breeds for a better product for the people. It would be ridiculous for people not want to see both of these games do well because they're going to push each other. You have competitive developers and companies that are competitors vying for a customer sale. Now, there's, things I think at this point that you can get different from each one of those games because, honestly, there's some things lacking in both games. But at the same time, I'm rooting for NBA Live to do well because ultimately it's going to push 2K. And you all know, if you've been listening to the show, I am not happy with 2K. So, and I really am starting to have bones to pick with them. And they getting to be the size of Tyrannosaurus Rex bones. So we're going to continue to push, for simulation and for a better product for the people, no matter the company. And we want, Live to succeed and thrive. And I know OG is doing his best at, putting simulation on the map because one of the things when Live came out, I was telling people that it's a simulation-based game and people didn't want to listen to me. But I think now that people are starting to give it a second chance or a second look and are getting tired of 2K, that there's some things there that they can build on and they're going to build on into the future. And I'm happy to see that. And 2K has to step up to the plate, man, because 2K14 is not it. So regardless of what people want to hype up and get hype about graphics and trailers, it's not a total package. It's one of those things that is talented, but it has a very low basement. So, and right now its basement is showing, and the underwear is hanging out. We seeing them like, come on, 2K, get your pants up. Sagging is not what's up. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to Live 15, NBA 2K15, because 2K actually has to do more showing than Live. And that's just my personal opinion. I know other people might have their own, but to me, 2K has a bigger hill to climb because of what they put out this year. Trust me, when I say I'm not happy, the people, people at IGN gave Live a 4, but after months with NBA 2K or whatever, 2K really gets that score. So they pulled the wool over their eyes. Like I said a couple weeks back, they were like, hey, y'all, we got this new Maserati for y'all. It got flat tires. It can't go nowhere, but it got rims on it, though. We're going to charge you for it, but look at the paint. Look at the coat, the new painted coat, the clear coat we put on there. Look at the inside, the wood grain. It looks nice, don't it? Can't drive it, though. We ain't got the keys for it. So I'm going to continue to push 2K as well as EA, but we got OG in the house, and I hope, hopefully people can get to know him as well, man, because he's a sim gamer too, and as well as being a professional athlete. So
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I guess we'll get rolling with a couple, little questions that we all have, just to show the people that OG, you know how they do. People are always gonna say, "Oh, y'all are biased and this and that. Y'all don't ask any questions." And it's going to be funny because I already know how this call is going to go. They're probably going to hear you even talk about 2K, which that's going to blow their mind. But unless Smitty has something to say real quick, I can kick off the first question. Got anything real quick, Smitty?
Nothing real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like when we start getting into it or what have you, we'll, break it down there or what have you as far as talking about the live 2K thing. But, I will say this, though. From what Azura said in regards to 2K, and I've even seen people on OS, it's like people are starting to warm up more to NBA Live because of all these problems that 2K has had, even with these patches they've done. It's like they still have a slew of problems. And plus, they practically patched in DRM. You know what I'm saying? They DRM'd the game. You know what I mean? Because, while I was moving, I didn't have my internet service set up yet, and I wanted to play my GM. And, I can't even play it because it's solely on the server. And it's like you got to be connected online to even do it. So I can't play my career.
Why would you do that? Not to cut you off, Smitty. Why would you do that and you have terrible servers like 2K has?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like, you know what? We got this wonderful game mode, but I'm going to put it on one of my weaknesses. I'm going to put it on my weak leg over here. So, I told you, man, I got bones to pick with them. They are on my list when it comes to a gaming company. I have a problem with them and their VC, the VC model. Hey, I'm telling you, when I make my turn to YouTube, they are public enemy number one, because they're starting to do some stuff that is snotty and uppity, and at the same time they are ripping gamers in the pocket and telling them, oh well. And I've had a situation with them, and they still have not resolved it. So we're going to see, man. Like I said, we're going to continue to press these games.
Right. So, and also one other thing, too. The two-man combined animations and everything that they said was eradicated. They said it wasn't going to be there with that EcoMotion engine or what have you. And it is very prominent in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like the false advertisement, the manipulation aspect, and then also just the quality of the overall game just being so shaky and unstable. It doesn't matter how well players. It doesn't matter about graphically how well players look and having all these beautiful animations. You're giving a visual stimulus, but the problem is that you have all these other problems. Like, that doesn't cover for all the issues that are in the game. So there's a heck of a lot that they got to do. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stuff is what leaves the door open for what OG, for the live team to really step in, and you can possibly take that reign. Yeah, because they're leaving that door. They're leaving the door and the windows open, saying, come right on in, because they dropping the ball in all these places. So it's like, they got to step up. Like, they just can't run behind the brand 2K and just say, well, it's 2K, so it's great. Like, they can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? So
no, not after this year. I think a lot of people have been as upset as they've ever been with 2K. So We'll see. You're going to have to come with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I guess we'll go ahead and ask a couple questions. You know, we don't want to take too much of your time, but I'll ask a question, and then I guess the fellas have another question as well. And I think one thing that we all should do, you know, out of respect, is just to show people how we get down. You know, I think we should all just give our quick opinion of how we feel about Live, where it is, how we felt when it came out, and things like that. But the first question I would have, and, you know, I'm sure you've answered this numerous times before, but for the people who listen to our show, can you kind of give us some information as far as, you know, what you all had and, you know, your plans for NBA Live 14, like what exactly you were looking to accomplish?
Well, that's a good question, loaded question, as far as, I guess, how many different ways I could answer that. I can't speak for everybody, so I'm speaking for myself and in this regard, in that